Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join, believe in. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, a key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica (ECJ) says it is 98% ready to facilitate the Special Service General Election on Monday, August 31, 2020, and the Civilian General Election on September 3, 2020. The declaration follows a commission meeting yesterday. The EOJ says it is confident in managing the upcoming elections even in the face of COVID-19, as it has established protocols to be observed on both days in line with standards set by the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The ECJ added that it has established a COVID-19 protocol for conducting national election. Yesterday, the Commission said 7,400 sanitation officers would be deployed to keep the voting process sanitized across the 2,200 polling stations locations. The Commission added that the established protocols will see the use of mandatory thermometer checks, wearing of masks, continuous sanitization procedures, social distancing, and the single use of voting pencils by electors. After several hours of rain associated with the passage of Tropical Storm Lara in Jamaica on a Sunday night into Tuesday, the National Works Agency NWA says the initial estimate related to the damage is $54 million. The disclosure was made by NWA CEO E.G. Hunter, who was speaking at a virtual press conference from the Office of the Prime Minister yesterday. Hunter said, too, that the figure could increase. Rains from the tropical storm, which resulted in flooding, landslides, heavy siltation, and fallen trees in several parishes, impacted roads and infrastructure. NWA Manager of Communication and Customer Service Stephen Shaw told reporters that so far there have been reports of such events in the parishes of Kingston, St. Andrew, Clarendon, St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Westmoreland, Trelawney, and Hanover. He said while landslides have been cleared along a number of roads, allowing for single-lane traffic, some critical roads remain impassable. On Tuesday, a Member of Parliament of St. Andrew East Central and opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips, in a statement issued to the media, called on the government and the NWA to provide an urgent explanation for the collapse of several sections of the road, which is in his constituency. Meanwhile, the Barbados-based Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum is warning of high flooding and landslides as well as strong tropical cyclones as the region comes to grips with the peak of the 2020 wet season. In its latest Caribbean Climate Outlook released Wednesday, the agency said the peak of the wet season in Belize is forecast to feature particularly high flooding, flash floods, potential landslides, and strong tropical cyclone activity. It said that as of August 1st, severe or worse shorter-term drought had developed in Dominica, Guadeloupe, French Guiana, Hispaniola, Martinique, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, while long-term drought will affect the Bahamas, Belize, Cayman Islands, the Dominican Republic, the Windward Islands, excluding Dominica and Grenada. The agency said that there are indications that climatic conditions during the early 20 to 21 dry season may be characteristic of a La Niña, being wetter than usual except in the Bahamas, Belize, Cayman Islands, and Cuba. Finally, political commentator Shalman Scott has said that critical issues were not adequately addressed during Tuesday night's national debate involving the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. The debate focused on social issues. Mr. Scott said the members of both teams should have placed more emphasis on where resources would be found to carry out the various plans and projects being touted by the political parties. Mr. Scott said healthcare was one area that needed further ventilation. He argued that while the debate was better than nothing, it was a lackluster performance which made it difficult to separate the parties or declare a winner, since none of the teams were able to move the discussions from just competing to making promises to say how some of those promises would have been fulfilled. The commentator said he was also hoping to hear how the parties would tackle corruption. For Thursday's debate involving Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark and Mark Goldin, his opposition counterpart, Mr. Scott is hoping for specific responses on how the promises made by both political parties will be fulfilled. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join, believe in. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and at 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of E News and the production team, I am Tracy Spence. Do have a good morning.